1700, pre-diabetic assistance, 1873, general order for fundraisers, 1933, HOLC assistance, 1991, Robin's Airport resistance, 1990, Dave Fincher assistance, 1921, Black Wall Street resistance, 1931, FDR New Deal assistance, 1941, Philip Randall, Flitty, and go to his assistance. Free blacks were aspirational. 1800s, free men were aspirational. Early 1900s, there were Negroes rules. Oh, 1800s, we were black and beautiful. Early 1800s, free blacks were aspirational. Late 1800s, free men were aspirational. Early 1900s, there were Negroes rules. Oh, late 1800s, we were black and beautiful. They've always had a system. They've always had a system. We always had a system. We always had assistance. Fighting takes three. General order for the assistance. 1933. HOLC assistance. 1931. Robin's Airport resistance. 1992. Your feet for assistance. 92. Black Wall Street resistance. 1932. FDR New Deal assistance. 92, 51, Philip Randolph, 58, we don't to resist. 80, we always had assistance. 80, 83, general order for the assistance. 1993, HOLC assistance. 1991, Robin's Airport resistance. 1992, Youth Victor assistance. 1992, Black Wall Street resistance. 1933, FDR New Deal assistance. 22, 31, Philip Randolph, 88, we don't to resistance. Early 1800s, free blacks were aspirational. Early 1800s, free men were aspirational. Early 1900s, there were Negroes rules. Oh, early 1800s, we were black and beautiful. Early 1800s, free blacks were aspirational. Late 1800s, free men were aspirational. Early 1900s, there were Negroes rules. Oh, early 1800s, we were black and beautiful. They are
Grand Rising family, Grand Rising. Hey, yo, who is this woman right here? This FBA sister right here who been kicking butt. Look at this. On the wrestling mat. Like, she is a beast. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. That ain't nothing. And she out there wiping everybody out. Look at this. God damn. Look at this. That's some old WWE. You smell what the Rock is cooking type. Oh, I was feeling sorry for these folks. Like, God damn. So she pulled her back on the mat. That's how I be when I be debating these tethers. Like, yo, there's no competition. Straight slam. Look at this. Good. I'm like, damn. She like feminine as hell outside of wrestling. Look at this. Is that a boy she beating up? Look at this. That's some old army throw over the shoulder type roll. Roll over the shoulder. Look at this. Some of those were men. You know the men be crossing over to the women's sports. Look, she wants smoke. Look, just walked away while she on the ground struggling to get up. Look, USA, FBA. You did, yo, that was wow. All right, let's get into the reparations finesse from Atlanta. I'm gonna let Tariq Nasheed take it from here. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, let me kill some of these tabs. Let me kill some of these tabs. All right, these tabs got my screen going crazy. Let me kill some of these tabs. All right. These tabs, bam, bam, bam. And okay, cool. All right, we're ready. Let Tariq Nasheed take it away from here.
Pay them to sit up and discuss our reparations. That's what that means. They're going to get a whole crew of tethers to sit around discussing ways that they
Look at my
ain't
screen.
gonna give us reparations, and then
Oh my
pay them
God.
for not giving us our reparations. Yeah,
That's very
we already got the research. We already know the harm. We know the harm of slavery. We know Jim Crow, redlining. We know all this delaying. We ain't going for it. That's another thing. Tethers, they always get these tethers who act like they're educating us on what we've been through. We know. How you tethers gonna tell us what we've been through? You just got here. We know we got families, we got great grandparents and mothers. They told us what went down when they grew up and when the grandparents grew. We know. We're from here. We already know what the get down is. We know better than you. You ain't gonna give us no study and no commit. We already know. Where's the money? You see what this does, man. This little bullshit program they got, it dilutes reparations by including other groups. You saw how they lumped in Jewish families? Really? Jewish families affected by I-85? Are you insane? Displacement with black families. Oh, they always got to attach another group to us. They can't do black and brown because that's
right,
toxic right now.
right.
As they see, we ain't going for the black and brown, so they know not to use that. That's a toxic term because yeah, we're
So
letting
they're gonna
everybody
they're gonna
hold
do
their own
black
nuts
and
with this
pink.
immigration thing. So they see where we stand on the black and brown. So they know they can't use that. So now they're trying something else. Well, the black and Jewish people, they both suffered. Man, please. Man, please. Many of these Jewish-owned businesses were the ones discriminating against black people in the 1950s and 60s. If we're going to go there, you had some of these Jewish-run suburbs, like the Levitt towns, which was built by Jewish brothers. They had in their covenants that black people couldn't even live there. I know you ain't going there. We know history. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that at all.
So the way they're
All that
able to,
discrimination,
yeah,
when you look at all of those civil rights.
so the way they're able to include different people in this package, including the Jewish nation, is that they call it economically displaced and not racially targeted reparations. So that's how the Jews are able to squeeze in there because they'll say, hey, they were economically displaced. They say under I-85 construction, several Jewish owned businesses were razed, R-A-Z-E-D, along with black homes. All right. So that's why they're able to finesse them inside this package. Interesting.
um, Videos and all that footage of black folks getting thrown out of Woolworth and stuff thrown at them at these restaurants. Many of them places were Jewish owned. If we're gonna be real about it, so we ain't doing that. See, they're trying to erase the harm that was inflicted specifically on foundational Black Americans. That's why true reparations has to be lineage based and exclusive to foundational Black Americans. And this little jive ass commission is offering all of these non tangible bureaucratic resources instead of wealth transfer. Job training, educational opportunities, that's not tangible.
That's a fact.
You can't measure that. And they're talking about through existing programs. Those are just standard services. That's not no damn reparations.
Right.
You understand? No.
Yeah. And once I heard it, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, this sounds like low income housing, light tick. I'm like, wait a minute. This is for everybody anyway. So extending it to Atlanta is like, you're not really, this is already available. When I first heard it, without going into deep research, I'm like, wait a minute. This sounds like what's already available for people with no funds.
We need guaranteed assets. We need guaranteed tangibles. Damn all of this education programs and education opportunities. No. That's too subjective. You see, they're framing reparations as like charity. That's not
Right.
justice. No. Rental support. We're not immigrants. You give rental support to immigrants. Down payment help. What are you talking about? For those,
Yeah, when I heard all this, I'm like, yeah, these are standard, programs for the needy. Like, what was new here?
those displaced. See, that turns reparations into that's like a temporary aid. No, reparations has to be guaranteed, inheritable, unconditional.
Here, let me cook for a second. Reparations, by definition, require material compensation for state-sanctioned harm, assets, tax relief, or cash transfer, not capacity building. So cities like Evanston, Illinois, face the same critique. Their reparations, quote unquote, are housing vouchers or grants through city services, not direct restitution. Again, that's the same like what they already offer. But you can't you can't repay debt you can't repay debt with a workshop. That's what Tariq is essentially saying. Education equals investment, reparations equals repayment. One more time. Education equals investment, but reparations equals repayment.
Yeah. We don't want none of this state-managed charity with all these strings attached that basically anybody can get, the way they're wording it. Excuse me. See, they use displacement as a distraction from slavery-based harm. Focusing on 20th century displacement like the I-85 construction. See, that sidestep foundational injury done by slavery. So you got to watch that stuff. We're talking about Jim Crow, apartheid, all that stuff. So these are urban renewal grievances. This isn't reparations. And the thing is, they refuse to identify reparations as a federal and local responsibility. Talking about cities can't do cash reparations. That's horseshit. Yes, they can. Cities can offer land. Cities can offer tax exemptions. They can offer no interest grants, business grants. Oh, they can do all this stuff. They do all this stuff for immigrant groups. It ain't about what they can't do. It's all about what they won't do. Local governments, they have the agency to do anything they want to do, but they're choosing to punk out with the reparations, and we're just not going to let them do that. And this almost seems like a Trojan horse for the existing DEI types of programs that's already out there by funneling reparations into this existing partnerships. Because when they use terms like existing partnerships, that's some old DEI shit. They want you to go through some of these NGOs, some of these academic consultants, some of these DEI firms that profit off Black suffering, but they enrich all of these other buffers.
All right, let me cook for a second. So local governments, right? They can provide some forms of tangible redress, like for example, tax exemptions, free land transfers, business grants, and zero interest loans, right? Cities do this routinely. God damn. Cities do this routinely. God, can I say routinely? Cities do this routinely, right? For developers. Like I said, by BITIC, low income housing, those things like that. And he's right, immigrant business incubators. But but cities can't issue full scale reparations because they say the enslaving entity was the federal government. So this is why ADOS FBA, we go after federal government. Going after the local government, state governments is a nothing burger. And that's why that Libyan dude, Brother Reggie, with his Black City plan was a garbage nothing burger, and I expose it. They're trying to go after, and all those narc, in Cobra, Pan-Africanist tethers who try to go after state and local reparations are just trying to undermine us. It's federal reparations. So states can do some things, but their hands are handcuffed. They're tied to a degree. So local action is possible, but like I said, it's limited. So there's something called state level preemptive laws and budgetary restrictions. So many cities legally can't issue race-based disbursements under 14th Amendment equal protection precedent unless tied to specific harm within their jurisdiction, right? So federal sin, like local participation, cities can't fix. So basically, cities can't fix what Congress broke. Congress got to fix it.
You see, and this is also designed to create confusion around the definition of reparations. See, they're using these buzzwords like descendants, displacement, resources. That kind of blurs the line between reparations and social uplift. So that's engineered to cause confusion. So that allows the city to say they're doing reparations without actually doing reparations. And again, man, this is just another Democrat political stunt to calm the growing reparations pressure. The Democrats are hemorrhaging right now. And they hate that they have to be forced to talk about reparations. They're forced to talk about it reluctantly. Because we made them crash out. They thought we were going to play a game of chicken with them and then punk out, and we didn't punk out. We let their asses crash and burn.
And this is what I was explaining to Unc, that Pan-African agent, when he compared Turk Nasheed to one of those Pan-Africans. I'm like, no. The reason why liberals and Democrats even speak on reparations is because the pressure almost exclusively due to Tariq Nasheed, by him going into Republican podcasts and shows in the Breakfast Club and only always talking about reparations. And then with his influence and his celebrity, it made it pop. Charlemagne started to ask, credit to Charlemagne, the Breakfast Club, like they really start to ask, like, again, like we don't agree with everything the Breakfast Club stands for and what they do, but we got to give them credit. They got to get flowers, because Charlemagne was definitely asking every liberal candidate about reparations after Tariq Nasheed wrote that there, right? But that was almost exclusively Tariq Nasheed signal boosting the reparations conversation, forging it to the political scenery. So there's no denying that. They were not talking about systemic racism before Tariq Nasheed. He also had the politicians. I remember Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders debating systemic racism and mass incarceration, all thanks to Tariq Nasheed in the Hidden Color series when he propped up Michelle Alexander, her book, The New Jim Crow, and the what's it called? In the Face of Blind Justice, something like that. Oh no, in the face of color blindness, something like that. But however, so Tariq is correct that many equity frameworks redirect money through, like stuff like nonprofits, consultants, or academic intermediaries. Of course, that often leave little for the actual harm population. Like it's like a nothing burger, crumbs. So Atlanta's draft language references existing, quote unquote, existing community partnerships. What is that? Which is bureaucratic code for DEI contractors. All right. So it goes back down to that. So Tariq has a legitimate concern about resource laundering. Okay. So, the middlemen get the contracts, right? We get the panels. We get to talk about it while the middlemen get the contracts. So reparations don't equate to a career day for consultants. And what else was going on? Okay. Let Tariq cook some more.
They lost bigly in the election. So they're begrudgingly talking about reparations, but they're just still going to try to trick it up. So their program, it's meant to give the illusion of progress ahead of the
Yeah, thank you,
elections.
J-Dog. Family, get the likes up,
It's a
please.
political PR
And by the
move.
way,
That they want to
last night again, family, we were litty. We were litty last night. If you guys are the late birds, we were like 150, 160 deep, like at 12:30 a.m. all the way to about 1:15. And yeah, I logged off at like 150 deep. I could have kept that going 2, 3 a.m., but I didn't want to lose out any more sleep. So family, I be working hard, man. Like I sacrifice a lot. You dig? I sacrifice a lot of sleep, a lot of dedicated hours, to bring this awareness to us, debunk clowns, tethers, and coons, and just help signal boost the awareness and the message of everything we stand for. So man, I'm definitely working. I'm definitely, when you got people like Dr. Maya who claim she working, like, yo, working, miseducating, misinforming, and misdirecting FBA. That's not called work. We don't respect that. Okay, shit, white supremacists do that. That's not work. All right. Well, you're working to do evil, so you are working, but it's not beneficial for FBAs. What I'm doing is beneficial to FBAs. What Tariq and Yvette and everybody else on the scene, Dennis Sperling and Jason Black, what we're doing is beneficial.
pacify the grassroots reparations movement in Atlanta while offering nothing of substance to foundational Black Americans. And one of the most, interesting parts of that article, when they use the term descendants of those who were historically set back, boy, they think they slick. Oh, they think they're slick. They've been listening to the Black grassroots. They know how we're talking over here. That's a deliberate little word remix they tried to do. They ain't slick. See, all of that intentional vagueness, that they're trying to replace the term freedmen or FBA. See, the term descendants of those who were historically set back, that's a horseshit ass term. That's a calculated attempt to kind of blur the target group and create wiggle room to include all of these non-FBAs, these immigrants and these other minority groups, all under a fake reparations umbrella. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. That's like a little semantic smoke screen that they want to do to avoid accountability, using these little soft passive ass phrases, historically set back. No. We were enslaved. Damn, set back. We were enslaved, terrorized, dispossessed, Jim Crow. No, we had some real harsh shit done to us. Set back. Son. You get set back at the line at the grocery store. No. That's some little old polite shit. Other groups have been set back. No. We were terrorized and brutalized. No, y'all not about to sanitize what went down with us and throw these little janky ass jive terms on it. No. See, that kind of language, that's designed to reduce urgency and dilute the moral clarity that we're putting out there. And we ain't letting that happen. And it's a rebranding strategy because, see, they want to hijack the foundational Black American grassroots momentum. See, that language, that's a remix of the precise language-based framing that we've put out there. And then they're just trying to remix it. Now that our language has political traction, the Democrats, they're trying to co-opt the style while stripping it of substance. So swapping freedmen or FBA for some meaningless catch-all euphemism, that can include everybody. That's what they want. We're not doing that. I mean, this is why, family, please, anytime they have any kind of reparations, read everything. I mean, every word is very important. You got to read every word. I'm talking about with a fine-tooth comb, and I'm so proud of all of us for doing that lately. Because for a long time, we sat up there and let HR 40 rummage around like it was something, and we started really looking into it and breaking it down, and we found out that's a big-ass nothing burger, and they've been using these nothing burger terms on us. And using these little broad, non-specific terms, like historically set back, that allows reparations benefits to be extended to groups who were not victims of U.S. slavery. You see? So this is proof that they fear the power of precise lineage-based advocacy. See, the fact that they've adopted watered-down versions of delineation and the terms we use, it shows that the grassroots messaging is working. And it's threatening the status quo. So instead of honoring that, the establishment, they're trying to colonize the damn language so they can undermine the movement. And we're just not going to let that happen. Now, let me get some more folks in here. Let's get the family in here. Let me talk to you guys. Y'all raise those hands. Let me have y'all chime in, ladies and gentlemen, because we do have a lot of folks in here. Let's get Fawcett. Let's get Fawcett in here. Mr. Fawcett, hop on in.
Quick question, because you said something that was so juicy in there.
Yes.
State reparations versus federal reparations. That's a concept that I don't think it's talked about enough.
Yeah.
And there's something I want to go ahead and like delineate off of real quick.
Okay.
When it comes to state reparations, we all kind of know the big baddies when it comes to that stuff who have the sin of slavery on their hands, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama. No one's going around fighting for that. The question I have for you is, there were 13 states admitted into the United States after the abolition of slavery, a lot of them in the West. Would they be on the hook for any state reparations in that matter?
Yeah, because they became a part of the United States government. Now, like California, that was almost a little tricky thing because they were talking about reparations for slavery in California, and everybody was trying to use the argument, well, California was not a slave state, but it had de facto slavery. You did have slavery out here. They just looked the other way. That's why there were big cases of people trying to get their freedom out of California. Also, these other states are going to be on the hook because you have the Fugitive Slave Act, which was a federal law, which they would go into these free states and bring Black people back, and these other states were complicit in that. So that they're on the hook too. And also, these states were built from slave labor. They were able to go and build these other states based off the labor and the wealth built from our labor coming out of slavery. So yeah, all of them are on the hook.
So I just want to go ahead and reiterate real quick.
Yes.
Like North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and Washington were all admitted in 1889, about 25 years after the abolition of slavery. They're on the hook too, even 25 years after.
From a federal standpoint. Yes.
Okay, from a federal standpoint. Okay, so state, like I would be more inclined to, like, when it comes to state reparations, that would be a no-brainer coming from those states that were actively and viciously participating in it and literally killed half their population to defend it. But just, it seemed a little wild to think that, like Oklahoma or like Arizona or Alaska would have to be on the hook for state reparations when, they weren't even here when that whole thing was going down. So
federal. Yeah, it would definitely.
Yeah, no, that's just what I wanted to get on. So yeah, okay, well, we can suffocate Georgia and Florida a little bit more. So, all right, that was all I asked.
And thank you so much. Yeah, it was a federal thing. Yeah, and those states were created from the wealth generated from slavery. Yeah, it was. So they're all on the hook from a federal level. So we can do federal and state with some of the places that directly enslave people. But yeah, I'm looking at it from a federal standpoint. Let's get Taco Man. Well, let me get Adonis. I ain't heard from Adonis in a long time. Where you been hiding, Adonis? Adonis, hop on in. Hey,
I made a mistake. I should have voted for Kamala.
Uh-oh.
My heart's been breaking for these immigrants that are being zip tied and hauled out into the road in the middle of the night. The kids, what they're doing is wrong.
Oh,
And I can't believe I sat on the sidelines and I voted for Jill Stein and allowed this Donald Trump to use his federal forces to invade our communities and separate and pull out the black.
Wait, before he go ahead and rant and cause confusion, let me dig into this real quick. So, but yeah, so it all comes down to the linguistic dilution, because that is exactly how legal eligibility gets blurred. That's what the Pan-Africanists were doing on purpose. They were blurring the claim by making it race-based and a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, Tethers just got here yesterday. They also can be involved in the claim, doing all that foolishness. Yeah, so historically setback is non-specific and legally useless. It allows anyone with an anecdote of hardship to qualify. LGBT, colorful people, feminist movement, everybody gets to, even like white men, the Charlie Kirks, because they say that they're being attacked by reverse racism. The the affirmative action excludes white straight men. So yeah, it's a nothing burger to say historically setback. That phrase replaces descendants of enslaved persons in the United States. Adolf, or freedmen, which was the operative clause in serious lineage-based frameworks. All right. So you could say that was sent Dr. Darity's revision of HR 40. All right. So Tariq, he correctly identifies this is a semantic Trojan horse, right? Um, yes, and as we can see, they are trying to replace terms like freedmen, FBA, ADOS with black residents, descendants of historically disadvantaged groups. All that bullshit. That reflects institutional discomfort with specificity. Cannot allow that. The political establishment, often co-ops. The political establishment often co-ops activist language once it gains traction to undermine it with the help of Pan-Africanists, conservative coons and tethers alike, trying to water down what we stand for, our talking points, and make it symbolic rather than structural. So DEI replaced civil rights enforcement. Like that's a case in point. DEI replaced civil rights enforcement. CRE. State reparations tied to state-sanctioned slavery, segregation, and discriminatory laws, federal reparations for chattel slavery, and post-bellum federal policies, FHA, GI Bill, etc. Everything I talk about. So Tariq is right, of course, that all states benefited economically from the slave economy, even even formed after 1865 via federal subsidy and infrastructure built with slave-derived capital. So Tariq's point about black and brown solidarity being weaponized to neutralize black specific claim is well documented in political rhetoric since the 1970s. Got to watch out for these liberals. All right. So immigration center coalitions often overshadow FBA specific redress with diversity language, turning redistributive justice into multicultural symbolism. Okay. So now here's the caveat. While the black and brown narrative can dilute specificity, total rejection of coalition building undercuts political leverage. But anything tied with us, we're going to lead the way. So we invite folks to join our political efforts, no different than civil rights march and movement, but we're leading the way. Nobody's going to be even with us, equal to us, or, out front, running their mouth like Stokely Carmichael. No, get in the back. Get in the back. Okay. So, we are going to step in front of all this reparation redress and make sure the language is acceptable and correct. as you can see, they're trying to disadvantage persons, all this bullshit. Nope. We step right in the way. But all these Pan-Africanists, they just turn the other cheek and let this go down because like the Pan-Africans don't care that white folks get part of this check, this money, these tangibles, this Hispanics, and they just want Africans to get involved. So they don't care if the whole thing goes to nothing. As long as Africans can get a piece of it, they feel like they did their job.
Blacks and pull out the immigrants. They got the immigrants in one van and they got the blacks in the other. This isn't right
I'm
to
heard
read.
about this. Where are they taking the blacks? I heard the blacks are being deported somewhere. Where are the blacks being deported?
They're detaining black Americans and they're harassing people. I was okay with, deporting criminal aliens, but this isn't right to read.
Right, and I heard they're getting FBA 2-year-olds and tying them up and putting handcuffs on them. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, and
I mean, I haven't seen the videos, but that's what's been reported in the news. The Chicago mayor had a video talking about he's banning ICE from public property, that they're going to have to find their own way. This isn't right, Tariq. We should stand in solidarity. I know I've never said this before, but we should look in standing with solidarity to get rid of ICE because they're harassing our people too.
well,
Don't you think?
so do we need to stand in solid? So does it need to be back to black and brown? Do we need to go back there? There.
Well, I've got to do. I've got to do something to fight back against this, and I'm going to vote for Democrats because they're going to try to stop this.
Oh.
This is too far, Tariq.
Yes, and
This is too far.
it's back to black and brown. There you go. All right, Adonis. Thank you so much. Adonis is funny.
Make sure you check that out. You posted a video not too, I think it might have been the last one you posted on Foreign Fridays. It really struck my attention about DDG.
Oh man, I was wondering because you didn't even tell me what we was gonna talk about. So I was wondering. I was just like,
well, I want to get into. So the reason why I definitely wanted to bring you back is we didn't get into any of the Diaspora Wars last time, and I wanted to have a dedicated time to talk about that. But you brought up DDG, and this is not somebody who I'm like that up on.
Top 10?
Really,
Yeah.
like I'm not like a real I'm old. You know what I mean? I'm like a good decade.
Reese, where you at?
The demo.
Reese, where you at? You 35?
Oh no, I'm 40. I'm 40.
You 40?
Yeah.
Man, you doing real good. You doing? I mean, like I know what I'm supposed to look like at 40, right? But you know what I think it is. Also, I think it's the haircut and the fact that you ain't got no beard. Cause I hide the fact that I have no chin under this beard. So that's what gives me kind of if I took this off, I would look about 10 years old. So, and niggas wouldn't take me seriously. So I think the fact that you got that going on and then you got the goatee, you in set with me. Honestly,
the facial hair really changed the paradigm when it came to dudes and faces. The facial hair really,
it's all
coming
makeup.
up in the era of beards as somebody that couldn't grow one. You know what I mean? It's like steroids, man. It really.
It's like our makeup.
Yeah, like dudes in the steroids era. All of a sudden they came up. So I'm out of the demo for DDG, but I happened to watch some videos. YouTube served me some videos this weekend about this whole dating show that he did, and with India Love, who was another person that I didn't, and I'm totally dating myself. I don't know these people, but I actually think I'm a good candidate to speak on it because I'm coming to it fresh, right? I'm not bringing in a lot of feelings about these people, except DDG has rubbed me wrong in the past because of how he's moved. But irregardless
What
of
the
that,
hell are you guys talking
A
about?
bunch of other songs. Maybe
About
he had a
another
rock
man.
album in there, but the his catchphrases, and then you realize yourself, oh shit,
Shazam, like the Shaq movie.
What the hell?
you're gifted the ability to dream. You're gifted the ability.
Make a run, and they always say they're too young to know any better.
Yeah, my grown ass men talking about DDG. Like that is some zesty shit right there. That's zesty as hell.
Some of the thoughts that I've had.
Now, let's see what this tether talking about. Hey, peace to Claude Neely, Francis, Amos, Fuller. You dig? He said $10 super chat in the building. Lineage love on fleek on deck. White supremacists are the greatest deceivers the world's ever known. Nearly Fuller Jr. The tethers and raccoons are their collaborators. War is deception. Sun Shu, the art of war. Facts. Thank you for that, for those words of wisdom and the super chat. Lineage love. Thank you very much.
Had with certain current events that I haven't put out because it, trying to edit those videos in terms of a long form or standalone videos has been a little bit time consuming. So to get that information out there. So, but anyway, that's enough of that. So let's go ahead and jump into tonight's topic here. So these diaspora wars, and as you see on the thumbnail here, the main it's really I don't even know where to begin. It's a war of everything, really. Arguments about every topic, you name it, it's being argued. And who is it being argued?
No, it's not. No. It's not being argued, man. We don't even give a damn. And that's the thing that they keep doing. They keep trying to act like we are 50-50 participants in this so-called fake diaspora war. So we don't think about you guys at all. And that bothers y'all. Like, we really got tunnel vision. Like, why are we thinking about you? Like, we got too much to think about in our country to think about a goddamn one of you guys. Man, come on, dude, relax.
Who's doing the arguing? Well, primarily you have in one corner, if you will, Black Americans, those who may call themselves ADOS, FBA. I think some call themselves Freedmen's, American Indians. They have a bunch of different titles that they are, classifying themselves against or with, excuse me. And then you have those who are from the continent of Africa. In particular, the main combatants, if you will, or the people who have really, I guess, stepped up are Nigerians. So I have a Nigerian flag there. Nigerians and really Somalians from the continent of Africa. And then you have those in the Caribbean, and the main combatants or those who are arguing there are the Jamaicans. And again, they are arguing about everything from who invented rap or who invented Afro beats or.
Yeah. What is this dude talking about? Everybody's discussing that today, man. That was a little couple months thing. The documentary dropped, microphone check dropped, and that debate was over.
Who they were arguing about Sha'Carri Richardson versus Shelly Ann Frazier, or
we don't care.
The sister from Jamaica, track events, you name it. They're arguing about it. And she makes a very good point. So the immigrants that come here, they recognize how Black Americans are being treated here. And You know, obviously you want to be near the power structure and not near those who are being oppressed or treated, you know,
That's common
with
sense.
such disdain. You want to get as far away from them as possible. We've seen this with so many groups that have come to the United States, whether it was the Irish.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So the pattern's the same. So, but the justification that Tethers gives would be hilarious. Like, no, you don't have to give a justification. Just get in line. Like he just said, like everybody who came to the country felt like they had to stay away from the builders of the country. You know, nothing, no tangibles will come towards you. So common sense. Like all you guys just got in line, you know, on the other side, right, and left us in a line. Yeah, basically segregation. Yeah, they all left us segregated by ourselves, and they integrated with team white supremacy.
British or the Italians, you know, before they were integrated into white society, they were considered outsiders in terms of not being classified as white, and to make their bones or to make their mark to become white, they had to show their loyalty to you know, to the dominant white society. That's why the Irish, when they became police officers, they were very brutal and very harsh to, you know, Black Americans. And, you know, obviously the Italians with organized crime, again, you know, it's have to be very you know, we have to be very harsh and very hateful of Black Americans. We see that same thing with the Latin immigrants, the, you know, the Hispanic or the Mexican or whatever. They have to be very to show their loyalty to whiteness. They have to be very hard to us, and unfortunately, we even see that amongst the Africans, or, you know, the Caribbeans, or just Africans in general who come here, the African immigrants, Caribbean immigrants, whatever. It's distanced themselves from us as well. So this is a very good intro to what is the issue, the underlying issue. And obviously we all know that this is divide and conquer by the white supremacists. So let's keep going.
In our quest for whiteness, often we're
Wait. I'm sorry. I started to work on something else because
This
he seemed to be been doing okay. Then I just heard the conclusion, so I know he did some cooning. Hold on.
Latin immigrants, the, you know, the Hispanic or the Mexican or whatever, they have to be very to show their loyalty to whiteness. They have to be very hard to us, and unfortunately,
Okay,
we
so
even see
far so
that
good.
amongst the Africans, or, you know, the Caribbeans, or just Africans in general who come here, the African immigrants, Caribbean immigrants, whatever. It's distanced themselves from us as well. So this is a very good intro to what is the issue, the underlying issue. And obviously we all know that this is divide and conquer by the white supremacists. So let's keep going.
in our quest for whiteness. Often we're trying to say, we're not Black, we're not Black, we're not Black. That's what we're trying to tell the host country.
Yeah, I hope you're speaking for non-FBAs. If you are, I agree.
I don't think Asians were always given the badge of honorary whiteness.
Okay, so, and she's Indian. I couldn't find the full clip of that, but she's Indian, so she's, you know, speaking for Asians, and she understands that, okay, we weren't given the whole title of honorary white in terms of not always being seen as white, but we have seen cases to where I forgot his name. He did the shooting in
Belt to asses in the
Virginia.
building.
He was considered white. I think he might have been a Happa.
Miss Proper
The guy who plays
TT.
John Wick, he's a Happa also. He's
Delta asked Miss Proper
Asian,
TT. I'm
but he's
shouting you guys out
also
because
I think his
we
one
don't
of
really
his
see
parents is
too
white,
often. So I'm
and
glad
he's
you can.
considered white.
Hold on.
And the guy,
I'm shouting out the people we don't see too often. So trying to encourage you guys to pull up more often. So Delta asked Miss Proper TT and who else? Hampton, try to pull up more regularly. I see Miss Mickey Jones pulling up more regularly. Chad Smith, Paul Gang, good to see you. Need to try, I know everybody's busy, but try to pull up more regularly. Who else do I need to encourage to pull up more regularly? Let's see. Flack, peace. You've been pulling up lately, but same to you. The cultural superpower, you've been pulling up lately as well. Yeah, we're trying to have a big family gathering here. At least one live a week. Let's try to get a big family gathering. Bantu Mandinka, foundational Black Americans, same you. Who else? What's another name there? Okay, so that's what I got so far. Try to encourage you guys to pull up more often. Charlie
guy
Shaw.
from that did the shooting in Virginia. I think the Virginia Tech shooter was he was considered white, even though the program benefits not just Hispanic.
Coming to the store.
All right, I'm good. You playing Myron? Okay. But here, back to your favorite tether whisperer.
Of some of these people. No, Africans have issue with Black Americans before they get over here because of what is being pushed in the media. Upon first contact with us, there's instant hostility. Okay, so let's take this as let's take this from boom. Okay, let's say I come from Nigeria today, right? I come from Nigeria today, and I'm
welcome
thinking, oh, these Black Americans are they're lazy, they don't do anything. And me and you meet. Do you respond by correcting me or by telling me to go F myself?
Go F yourself, because why are you coming to our country to tell us we're lazy, and you're leaving a lazy country? Like, there's no production, there's nobody working in your country, bro. You're leaving a country full of unemployed people. That is the epitome of laziness, being unemployed. And you're coming to a country where a lot of us work. And you're calling us lazy based on what? So yes, we're gonna tell you go F yourself. No alliance, no allegiance, no corn cold. We're good. We're good. Okay. Africans, stay in your enclaves and go with Zaddy. But trying to build an alliance with us in America, in our homeland, that's far gone. We're delineating you guys. Best of luck for you guys. You're only 400,000 deep in this country. Talking shit about us, and we're 43 million deep. No, go hold your own nuts, and hopefully, when something happens to your Zaddy comes to your defense.
You see what I'm saying? Because like there's a way, it's like there's a way to start countering the stereotypes as opposed to saying like listen, having a conversation with somebody and saying, so you think you believe X, Y, Z, and then telling them, no, you're wrong because this, and then laying out the information and facts for them so that maybe they don't, but maybe they do and say, oh, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know that the US government specifically used because all of these the white middle class wasn't built by bootstraps. It was built by government. Government like special set asides here, and nope, not for you, black people. Y'all can't get any. So, like, making people aware of the actual history of this country, because a lot of people don't know.
Then shut your mouth. If you don't know, shut your mouth. We have a thing saying, if you ain't gonna say anything nice, don't say anything at all. All right. So if you don't know, shut your mouth. Why do you automatically adopt white supremacist talking points. And you're not in a position to be talking like that. You're over here because your homeland failed you. It failed to present opportunities. And family, as I said before, we were subjected and ruled over for over 400 years by these white people. They only came to Africa, family, for 60 years. The Berlin Conference was in 1892. Prior to that, nobody was carving up Africa like that. So it was only after the Berlin Conference where Europe went to Africa and decided to carve it up and extract resources and make these tethers bow down. But they were only there for 60 years, family, from 1900 to 1960. That's it, 60 years. So how the hell that we are subjected for over 400 years, and we're able to be innovators, inventors, and do great shit in the world, and these guys were only occupied for 60 years, and they're saying that they're the same as us. We went through the same things. No, we didn't. 400 years compared to 60 years, it's not the same. And then you sold us on top of that. So but family, think about that. 400 years compared to 60 years, and we're so much better off than them. Accomplished way more. 400 years compared to 60 years. All these African countries and Caribbean islands, they all got their independence by 1960. So when I say 60 years, that's more so to Africa, not the diaspora, because the islands obviously was around 16, the same as us, around the 1600s. So they also was 400 years, but I'm talking about the continental Africans, just 60 years. And they can't rebound after 60 years, and we're doing great after 400. They're not like us.
Like, how would they know? It's part of it, but I get what you're saying in terms of being like, these people are already poisoned. Their opinion of us is poisoned. But I'm of the mindset, I know who my enemy is, and I know my enemy has lied to this person.
It doesn't matter. They're carrying the lie out. So I mean, bro, what are you missing? And this is why these people won't talk to us with this type of logic. Look, somebody can lie about me right now and say, yo, unbiased Ron did A, B, and C. It's a lie. But if you take that lie and plaster it all over social media, then guess what? I got a legal suit against you, not the liar. You took somebody just lied and kept it, in the room with you. You took that lie and plastered it all over the social media. But no, we got to hold the liar, the original liar, accountable, and the liar minions, which are tethers and conservative coons and Pan-Africanists. We hold all you guys accountable, man. Nobody's going to escape accountability.
To get them to be my enemy. I believe if I can get past the lies, this person is not my enemy, and we can realize who our kind of common enemy is. I don't think anybody heard Somali Twitter space. These Africans from the Horn of Africa. No, listen, I talked about that. So listen, I don't know how many of those people were actually it's on Twitter, number one. So you could be anybody, all of those, those could have been people with black avatars, and they could be sitting, they could have been sitting in a boardroom on the 26th floor of a skyscraper in New York City. This could literally be a bunch of white people from a think tank that are intentionally creating division, but they got black avatars. This literally could be that. I don't know who that was. So I know for a fact you've got these organizations, these anti-black organizations that are trying to create more division. And they're using all kinds of tactics. Because this is exactly what COINTELPRO did. COINTELPRO, this is exactly what COINTELPRO would infiltrate, will send agents into groups, into black organizations. And
bro, that's not COINTEL, man. COINTELPRO, these were paid these guys are on payroll. All right. These tethers are voluntarily, right? They're willing participants to spread stereotypes against us, to undermine us. They're not even getting paid, some of them. Some are, and some just hate us so much where they'll do it for free just to undermine us and with the dream of replacing us one day. Stop it, bro. Stop explaining.
They create division. This is exactly what they did. So seeing a bunch of so-called Somalis, maybe they're not black, maybe they are. Maybe they are actually Somalians. Maybe they are who they say they are. Is that all of Somalia?
Yeah, it is. And maybe they are what they say they are not. Or maybe they aren't what they say they aren't. And they would tell you they're not black, right? Flat out, in which we already know. And we appreciate them being honest, saying they're not black.
Or is that a couple of idiots that's okay?
No. It's not a couple of idiots. Why you just can't take people for their word, man? They're not black, bro. Okay.
Find out who those are. That's not fair. We got nothing to do with those scumbags. Those scumbags are not family. Those scumbags is not our peoples. Those scumbags are the enemy. Cool. There's a whole rest of the country, a whole bunch of others that can still be our family, that can still be that we can still connect with, that we can still build with, that we can still work together with, that we can still unite with against the war on blackness. Because that's what we have to understand. There's a war on blackness. And that war...
No, let me tell you about that war. That war, there is a war of blackness, but that war is limited. And that blackness word is not all inclusive either. That is an exclusive term. And that is exclusive to those who can trace their lineage to slavery in the United States of America. That's the only blackness that ever existed. Okay. So anybody else who's trying to lump into the blackness, that's not part of the blackness. You can try all day long, but we know those other people are either Africans, Afro-Latinos, or Caribbean, right? And that's just who they are, Haitian. We're the black people, and they are look, we're black, they're Haitian, Caribbean, and African, Afro-Latino. That's it. Okay, so black is used like Mexican. Black is used like Caribbean or West Indian or Jamaican. You're Jamaican, I'm black, nice to meet you. You're Nigerian, I'm black, nice to meet you. You're Fulani, I'm black, nice to meet you. You're Haitian, I'm black, nice to meet you. You see, we're separate. Nice to meet you, but we're separate.
Isn't just targeting Black Americans. It's not. It targeted Black America. It targeted blacks in America. It targeted blacks on the continent. It targeted blacks in the Caribbean. Like this war against blackness hates all of us, but they also don't want us working together.
I don't know where you get your intel from, but I don't know who the they is, right? The they I can place the they on Africans. They don't want to work with us, and they've proven that. Okay, in their mind, there's no benefit, right? So, please, man, it's not working, bro. Like this video didn't get the views you thought it would get because the world knows this is bull. Okay, this is bull crap.
Exactly.
I'm trying to make
versus dark skin, black immigrants versus
family.
black citizens, young black versus old black men versus black women, and black straight versus black gay. It's all divide and conquer. That's what they do. Thank you, Joshua. Exactly. Josh, you're right. But what a lot of the immigrants and all these other classes need to understand is we are all black first. Everything else needs to be left at the door. Agent Black, I'm with you. I am with you. I am with you. Whether you're gay, straight, man, or woman, all these other issues that the white media tries to use to divide us, we need to ignore, understand black first, be one. Listen, I really appreciated something that I had seen happening between the NOI and its willingness to, like, I'd seen brothers from the NOI, Morris brothers, Christian brothers, Joe's Witness, like, all these brothers, like all these brothers working together and saying, listen, we all have our different religions, but we all are black men, and we're gonna work together. And I've seen this happen in real time, and I'm like, yes, this is
Bro, I don't know where you're going with that, but that makes no sense, bro. Come on, man. Stop.
exactly what we need to do, and we need to be applying it to politics. Like, okay, if you're Democrat, if you identify or lean Democrat, lean Republican, lean Libertarian, lean Green, we're still black, and we have common interests that we need to be working with one another together.
Bro, just because you keep saying that over and over doesn't make it true. They're not black. They're a Jamaican, they're Nigerian, they're Kenyan, they're Sudanese, okay? They're Irish, they're Italian. You dig? They're Portugal, right? Portuguese, whatever. They are Russian. They're not black. We're black.
They play chess while we're playing checkers. We better start playing chess. We have to start playing chess, though. Fact.
Not only do I play chess, I'm a chess teacher. So, and what we're doing is the right way. It's part of chess. We're being strategic. Okay, we're doing the wayward queen attack. Okay, we are doing the wayward queen attack with delineation and self-identification. Okay, so we are playing chess, and we're using the French defense when we play black. So we are playing chess.
The division started in Africa with tribalism. All they did was bring that mentality to America. All European did was use. Well, listen. So I had mentioned it earlier with the borders. The borders borders are imaginary lines. They're just just somebody just in their mind just makes up. Okay. Like borders are not actually.
Here we go. The borders are imaginary. All right, so let's go back to Pangea then. All borders are imaginary. All right, nobody's different. We're all the same. Irish, Asian, African, FBA, we're all the same. Like, come on, man. The borders, bro. What are you talking about, man? Fulani are right there next to the Yoruba. Right there. Ain't no border separating them. And they identify themselves as completely different. So stop with this, man. Matter of fact, start in Africa. Stop delivering. Look, family. They give these wild speeches and they try to reserve it just for us. We're asking them, take these speeches to Africa. Take it. Go ahead and deliver that to the Fulani, the Yoruba, the Igbo, and all the other Asantes. Go deliver this speech to them and tell them the borders are fake. They're made up. You guys are all the same. And see and get their reaction and let us know what happened. Stop. Just cut it out, man.
Sketched in earth. So these people, they went to Africa, created these borders, these artificial lines in the ground, and created chaos. And that was part of what they did. They said, okay, we're gonna carve this up, and they knew what they were doing. We have to, once we know what they're doing, we can't let them keep getting away with it. You see what I'm saying? Divide and conquer. Shame on anybody falling for that. But whiteness is about moving the goalposts as an objective. We got to work for our own interests within a system we know works against agreed interests. Moving the goalposts as an objective. I would lead to. I'm not quite understanding exactly what you're saying. I do know they do move. So yeah, we definitely have to work for our interests, right? And we have to know the system is working against our interests, which is why we can't trust the system as being the solution. So in other words, we have to know, even if we're going to use the system in certain ways, we have to know ultimately the system is geared to work against us. So anytime we can get the system to actually help us, it's a bug. It's not the intended goal of the system. Black Americans approach Africans with caution, but Africans from the start, they look down upon us. Should we have the hate between us? Absolutely not. But at the same time, they are being used to sabotage us. So
Yeah, so family, he's trying this kumbaya bullshit, this Pan-Africanist bullshit. And his own chat is cooking him. They're like, yo, man, what are you doing, bro? Like, there's no future in the message you're spreading, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, we are beyond that. You know, we're post segregation, we're post Pan-Africanism. You dig? We're done. Now we are pro delineation, self-identification, pro reparation. That's where we at now. Okay, either get on board or get lost.
So it sounds like what we need is we need space. We need to be creating spaces for greater interaction between.
Wait a minute. Ronald Tate said Fulani's claim to be Caucasian. That's hilarious. Let me give you a link. I want you, Wrench, let me put that link in there. Let me hear one of those folks saying that. I'm a holler.
Black Americans and Black Africans. Because if there's distrust, if there's hostility, that can only be solved with communication. So, like, in order, the only way we can solve this is by actually engaging with each other. And yeah, I mean, like, that's what we instead. So, because the separating isn't going to solve the problems. So if there's any hostility that exists, any distrust, any looking down on us that exists, we need to come together and counter it. And so, like, you know, because if they're believing, so if an African immigrant comes over here believing Black Americans are lazy, and then we come together, we have, you know, social gatherings or whatever, and we get to know each other, and then they get to see, like, wow, these
Wait. Why are we proving that to them? Like, who would? Hey, that is so disrespectful. How is family? How is any ethnic group, any race just lazy? Like there's a lazy gene. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, so we got to prove to a bunch of tethers we're not lazy? Like, dude, man, come on, man, make that make sense, bro. Like, you sound crazy. They say we lazy and we just ignore it and say, "Whoa, watch me work. Look how hard I'm working." Bro, stop it, man.
Black American immigrant comes over here believing Black Americans are lazy, and then we come together, we have, you know, social gatherings or whatever, and we get to know each other, and then they get to see, like, wow, these Black Americans are doing a lot. They're, you know, we're building our families, building our communities. We've done a lot. We continue to do a lot, and we're doing a lot and getting less.
I'm talking on mute like an asshole. But real fast. Why are we trying to prove to people who are actually lazy that we're not lazy? We built our country. What did you guys build? Nothing. You're running from the hard work. And then, like I said, during the Great Depression, when white folks were killing themselves, divorcing, leaving their wives home to raise the kids, all that type of stuff, what did we do? In 1931, we built an airport called the Robbins Airport in 1931. 2 years after the Great Depression, we over here building the airport while white America is slitting their wrists. Okay, don't know what to do. Getting all type of government assistance. Because 2 years after that came the HOLC, then the FHA, and then the New Deal. You did all type of welfare, and then the GI Bill. All type of welfare came to white folks after the Great Depression. We never got any assistance. We just worked through it and built airports. And you saying we're lazy and we got to prove to you we're not lazy when you could check our historical footprint? Come on now, like make that make sense.
And let them give them an opportunity to see that anything that they've been told about us was a lie, and help them to understand that, wow.
As though they don't know it's a lie. Come on, man. Like, bro, are you that dumb? Ain't that what the young kids be saying? Are you dumb?
Like, once they start to see that, any individuals that believe these negative stereotypes about us,
are you dumb?
They can help spread the word. Like, whoa, we've got it all wrong.
They can help spread the word. Oh, those FBAs, those Akatas, they're not so lazy, yo. They built Wall Street, Black Wall Street. They built America. They fought in the Civil War and the Revolutionary War and the Civil Rights Movement is all of them. We're over here because of them. Wow, they're not so lazy, man. See, I can't say certain things, but I'm just gonna say, they said you can't say anything nice, say anything at all. So I'm not gonna say anything at all. I'm just gonna be quiet and play the video.
Or wrong, and the lie, and we're being intentionally lied to about who Black Americans are. Because they were colonies. They love white folks in African Caribbean. Okay, so
yeah, crowd. Nobody's buying it, man. Nobody's buying it. You're getting cooked by your own chat. Okay, nobody's buying it. You're getting cooked by your own chat, dude. Give it up.
I can show you Black Americans that love white folks. I can show you Black Americans that love white folks.
So look, that's the best he can do. The best he can do is redirect it back to us. I'm telling family, that's all they want to do. These coons and Pan-Africanists, and all they want to do is, and these Africans, all they want to do is hold themselves to no accountability, or hold Africans to no accountability, hold Caribbeans to no accountability, and just blame FBAs relentlessly. Just blame us. No, they don't make up excuses for us. And just look at this redirect. Won't you address that? Won't you address what your own chat said, that they worshiped white people? He gonna run. I could show you black. That's exactly why his channel flopped.
Folks more than they love themselves. Doesn't mean all of us feel that way, but I can definitely show it to you. I think what we have here is a problem. And so because I've thought about this problem as it exists in the United States. In the United States, I see us having an issue. We go to schools that are owned, operated, and controlled by the white establishment. And I wonder, how can we be centered in Blackness if in our formative years, 5 to 18, in fact, they're going with preschool and pre and 3K and pre-K. So they want from this government, you know, this system wants control of our kids from age 3 to age 18. From age 3 to age 18, how black centric will we be if we're completely in the custody and control of a white system that's been waging war against blackness from its inception? In fact, before its inception, because the war against blackness on North America has gone on for hundreds of years, even before this country was formed. Even before the United States of America was formed, the war on blackness existed on the North American continent. I don't think we're even divided, though. Even in the UK, I hear nonsense. I heard somebody say that Africans in the Caribbean community have beef. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I hear a lot of generalizations being made, but I hear a lot of generalizations being made, but I'm hearing a lot of generalizations being made about how, well, they don't like us. And then I'm hearing rhetoric from Black Americans about how.
Right back to us. No, there's not. You didn't hear it. They said it. They actually said it. I mean, well, why I got to keep doing this, man? You're not hearing it from one of us. You're hearing it from them. What I mean, like, what are we doing, bro? Like he's purposely being disingenuous
About Black African, like it's so if we're assuming, because like let's say we assume that they don't like us, but we're wrong. But then from that point on,
what about their actions? Do their actions show they like us when they come to this country? Do they come around us? Do they come and learn basketball, learn bowling, learn about our culture? Do they come around us at all? Do they watch football with us, NFL football? Do they watch NBA basketball with us? Like, do they come around us at all? Do they come to our cookouts? Do they ask to come to the cookouts? Like, come on, man. Do they join any of our conversations? No, they don't. They stay far, far away from us. None of their actions show they got any love for us. Matter of fact, when they come over here, they actually express no love lost. They sold us for musket guns and rum and K2 and fentanyl. And when they come to this country, it's no love lost. They don't, oh, brother. No, they like, man, move out my way.
We just treat them the way we think that they feel about us. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
why is this dude like lying so much to himself? So his chat is delusional. They just making shit up. I curse, my bad.
It gets to the point, and I had mentioned this point before about the whole chicken and the egg thing. It's of figuring out what happened first. What's the problem first?
All right, okay. You just think about that, and let me give you this right here. You tell me this.
Them. Black Americans people, I don't like them.
Bro, is that us saying it or is that her just saying it? Black Americans, I don't like them. Okay? So that's not, you didn't hear that from us. You heard that from the horse's mouth.
Because Black Americans people, I don't like them. Because they
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. We don't need to know why. And she said it. Don't like us. Okay? There you go. You heard it from their own mouth. Rwandan lady who never been to America a day in her life. But she don't like us because of movies. Okay? So that's it.
So I'm Haitian. I want to see my ADOS FBA brothers succeed. All this bull is only dividing the Black people in America. How can we defeat the common enemy without all this infighting? Exactly.
Yeah, of course he's gonna love that. He's gonna love that comment. Any real comment he's gonna hate and shoot down, but some goofy comment like that, some kumbaya comment like that, oh, the real enemy. Dude, you are part of the real enemy, bro. You don't separate you guys from the real enemy. When I think of the real enemy, I think of white supremacy and tethers. I don't separate you guys.
Fighting is the death of us all. It's the death of us all. And so this is like, it's in our interest. It is in our interest to figure this out and clear this up. It's in our interest to work together. So if there is genuine problems, we need to solve them. We need to solve them. Because this thought that we can fight, like as Black Americans, we already have the fight against one of the most powerful governments on the planet. To think that we can wage the fight against this government and then against the rest of the world's anti-Blackness, and like what? Like how can we do? Like think about what you're saying. If you're saying that it's only Black Americans against the world, we have no shot. There's no way we can be at war with everybody on the planet and think that we come out of this existing. Because like right now, this government will keep coming up with ways to wreak havoc within our communities. Mass incarceration is just one of these ways. The rampant poverty, like, and even beyond poverty, with like if you just take a look at what's happening with inflation, there's a bunch of us that are above poverty lines, but we're still struggling because like the economy is trash, and the system will work to great ends to make sure that we're not successful in this economy. They will keep on coming with obstacles to try to stop us and knock us down and keep us down, keep us from succeeding and advancing. They refer to us as very derogatory. Yes, it is derogatory, and it needs to be addressed. Once again, I don't think that all Africans do, though. For instance, like just earlier, there was a Nigerian individual who said they had never even heard of that word. Like I know I had a Nigerian friend who he didn't know of it, and I had only heard of it like in 2006 or so from a Nigerian professor. Like that was the first time I had ever heard the word, you know? What the British did in Kenya, not even that long ago. Exactly. Honestly, no one says that. I'm a little bit behind, so I don't know exactly what you're referring to. I think the main issue, Matarasu, is like he just said, there's a lot of negative perception, but also there's a lot of white worship in a lot of these other immigrant countries. Whiteness is celebrated. Okay. Is there any of that in America? Is there Is there any Eurocentrism in America amongst Black Americans? Is there any elements of celebrating whiteness in Black America? Like, do Black Americans view lighter skin, ergo European blood, as being more beautiful? So when we say the term fair skin, what color skin are we talking about? We're talking about light skin, right? What does the word fair mean? Do we know, the word fair means beautiful. So when we're saying fair skin, we're saying beautiful skin, and then we're referencing it to light skin, European, as close to European skin as possible. When we say good hair, are we talking about African hair, natural hair, Black hair? Footage of Black people engaged in any kind of behavior that he can use to, like, oh, this is what Black people do. So if there's a fight, if there's Black people having a fight outside a fast food place, and the security footage is online, he'll get that footage, put it out, and like just all through his feed. That's all he does. All he does is just post the most negative images of Black people. And this is the kind of nonsense that's being done to paint this false picture of who Black Americans are. Nigerians do not. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Meanwhile, a lot of the immigrant class fled their homelands and did not fight, at least the more recent generation. We do not. Marcus Garvey. That, like, seriously. And I'm glad you brought up Marcus Garvey, because Marcus Garvey is somebody who like Marcus. People don't understand how influential Marcus Garvey has been to struggles. I mean, Malcolm X's father was a Garveyite. So before Malcolm X's father was murdered, he used the teachings of Garvey to inspire. Like, that's why Malcolm and his brothers and sisters had a foundation rooted in Blackness and Black pride, because his father was a proponent of that system already, and it helped us to have one of our greatest leaders, one of the greatest leaders, Black leaders, in America. But there were others who realized that the fight was not just in their corner of the world. They realized that our fight was connected. And so that, like, you have that Pan-Africanism that existed. And if we don't see a lot of people like Marcus Garvey anymore, My question is it that we don't see that? Is it that they don't exist, or that the people that are controlling the media don't want to promote these people? Do you see what I'm saying? Because we can't let our leaders be picked by our enemies. But right now, a lot of that is happening. Right now, just think about it. Who's picking our leaders? Who's picking our leaders? If our leaders are the person that we see on MSNBC or CNN, we're not doing the hiring at CNN. We're not doing the hiring at MSNBC. Who is? Right. If our leaders is the person that's been endorsed by the Democratic Party, who chose our leaders? We don't control the Democratic Party. So who's choosing our leaders? Colonizers have their minds. Nigerians do call us. Is this all Nigerians or is this some Nigerians? What is happening to Black people in Ukraine is disgusting. Yes. And it is a wake-up call. Number one, we shouldn't need that wake-up call, but the fact is, I guess periodically we will need it. The simple fact is, are we waking up? Are we seeing this and realizing, you know what? We need to be paying attention. Like, this is bigger than just us. Like, do we realize that? Have we figured out that all over this world, we're dealing with systems of anti-Blackness. You've got what's happening in Ukraine, where they're facing annihilation, but have enough time to stop and practice anti-Blackness. And then here's this. Tariq Nasheed talking about the racist takeover in Mason, Tennessee, a prime example that Black society can never collectively get anything constructive accomplished until we deal with this white supremacist problem. We have to stay laser focused on the antics of these white supremacists. We have to stay laser focused on what these anti-Black movements are doing. Because it's a war against Blackness. And so worrying about, it's not to minimize it, but we really need to realize what the bigger enemy is and what the bigger aim is. And realize that even any static between us, Africans, Caribbeans, is often a product of that same system of anti-Blackness trying to make sure that we're not working together to stop them. Anti-blackness is we don't, and some, and if some, they, yeah, we don't. So yeah, so there are plenty of Nigerian people that don't use that word and don't look at Black Americans like that, which is a great thing. It's a great thing. This is something we can take pride and comfort from. It's like, okay, there's some, we've got a few, but there's a lot of Nigerians that respect and have love for Black people and Africans and Caribbeans and vice versa. Can you really blame all Nigerians for the words? Like, that's the point. We have to realize that there's, like, we could put Jesse Lee Peterson up, and if we put Jesse Lee Peterson up, they, like, people would get the impression that, wow, like, Black people just, the Black Americans really hate Black people. Africans flee too damn much. Stay in your country and build it up. They went to Ukraine wanting white people to accept them. I think that's kind of, so we know how how the systems work, right? We know how they will go to regions, destabilize regions, and just create chaos. So, I mean, there are those that will go to different countries to study. And my question is, how many of these Africans are going to foreign countries for school and then going back to Africa to try to help? I mean, so what you're dealing with in some cases is not somebody fleeing, is not somebody retreating, but making a strategic move
Oh, I had my oh, my bad. Oh, I know why you didn't hear me. You didn't hear me because I'm on mute. Okay, I'm bugging. I'm on mute. All right. Gen 5, I'm gonna give you opportunity to come on. Come on the show. We ain't afraid of that. Hey, yeah. So my fault, Kia Harris. I'm on mute trying to talk. I'm bugging. But let me give Gen 5 a platform to voice just that. Here you go, Gen 5, click that link. Okay. Yeah. So what I was saying was every comment that he got that criticized a tether and how they feel about us, he justified every last tether talking point. And then oftentimes he'll put it back on us.
in order to be able to help. I don't believe ADOS. I'm African, not Nigerian. And I've never heard a Nigerian use the word. I've met loads of Nigerians. Okay. I've seen a video by a Nigerian. Okay. And so, yeah, I mean, but like I said, there may be some who do, but clearly there's plenty who don't.
All right, whatever. I'll play on, but hold on. Trying to understand his logic, but somebody sent me this. What is this?
She'd be like, okay, well, yeah, my people, I do have lineage to different black nationality or racial groups in Africa, or origin groups in Africa. Like so yeah, she would like be able to like reason with that to say, okay, there is commonality. I do have commonality. I do have lineage to these people. I do have roots in these in Africa. So yeah, so then the conversation changed. You know what I mean? And then maybe we can all, but if she wants to have a conversation regarding how she would rather be identified as, or anybody for that matter, then like then it's like so be it. Like we can have that conversation as well. But like if I were to talk to you and say, hey, are you black? Then yes, with the understanding of within within my understanding of what black means, she could say yes, but it's just a little bit too bywords is only using it where necessary, where it's applicable. Whereas I can't stress.
All right. Thank you for the link, but it doesn't fit anything I want to talk about. Okay. What is this right here?
After the show, I offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast, YouTube. And we want to make a connection with the community that we. The white man is not stopping Black Americans from buying my revised book. The white man is not stopping Black Americans for the past 33 years. And yet, when it comes down to these other groups like the Asian beauty stores and the Korean nail salons, Black Americans have no issues making them rich.
Okay, good. All right. That's what I want. I want to tether like that. All right. Matter of fact, let me invite him to the show. Now, by the way, I have invited other people, and this is what they all do. They all say, email me. I email them, no follow up. They say, hey, hit me on IG. I hit them on IG, no follow up. They all say sure, and then they don't show up. All right, so let me go back to this guy, the tether whisperer.
I didn't even know that about Obama. That's very interesting. Now I can see why he works so hard against Black people here in America, but help every other group. Oh, yeah. Yeah, as soon as I finished reading that book, I was like, yeah, I hate him even more now. I was like, nah, I really hate him. Obama did nothing for his own people. Saying B1. Obama did nothing for us because he didn't see himself as one of us. Obama is the prime reason why foundational Black Americans are a little bit more on guard these days, because we saw him as Black. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if the Democrats, so Stacey Abrams, the Democrats like her now, and they better, and for real, let me put this in just in terms of how much she's done for them. They better like her. They better like her, because that woman has put in so much work on their behalf.
All right, brother.
There's 270 degrees that we're not seeing. COINTELPRO, exactly. Thank you. It's not about division. It's about looking after ourselves, because we helped enough people without looking out for ourselves.
Right.
There will be no ourselves if we allow ourselves to remain divided from the rest of our people. It's just a fact.
That's not our people, though. That's a fact.
This anti-Blackness is worldwide.
That's not our
Black
people.
Americans cannot defeat anti-Blackness by ourselves. It can't happen. Especially, we can't defeat it if we're fighting.
And we definitely can't defeat it with a bunch of tethers undermining our fight. We can't win with a tether holding us down. We're trying to fight, and he got his arms wrapped around our legs. You dig? And the other person got us in chokehold. The other tether got us in chokehold. How can we win a fight when a tether got his arms wrapped around our legs and another tether got us in chokehold? We can't fight, bro.
Fighting against anti-blackness and other black people. Like, because that's what we'd have to be doing to be going along with some of the narratives I'm seeing in social media. So to be going along with some of the narratives I'm seeing in social media, that means we'd have to be at war with other black people and a global system of anti-blackness. Like, wow, like that's that doesn't seem to be helping us either. That doesn't sounds like it would help us at all. Are you 100% hear what you're saying, Echo Chamber? But what I want to hear is your opinion on the U.S. government using immigrants to undermine us by doing things like give them high positions and buttering them up to think that they are the good ones. They'll even give them high positions in the government to separate them mentally from FBA people. This leads to a lot of the immigrant class kind of feeling themselves in the white supremacist structure, understands this. Okay, so this is what we need to do. Because listen, the government is doing this with immigrants, but they're doing this with Black Americans as well. We can't continue to support the systems that are doing this, number one. So because this system, like they'll pick Black Americans that are willing to play ball with them too. And when they run out of Black Americans, they'll find, Black West Indians, Black Caribbeans, Black Africans. They'll find whatever they need to do to push to find people to support them. We just don't support those people. We need to have a clear agenda. We need to have a clear agenda that's focused on fighting for our interests, so that it takes more than just a Black face, whether American, Jamaican, Haitian, Nigerian, Kenyan, that we just don't allow those Black faces with white agenda, like Black faces, white minds. I believe that was the term Malcolm used. We can't allow these Black faces with white minds. We can't continue to support them or the system that is propping them up. So, because if we're criticizing them but still supporting the system that's propping them up, like, what's the point? If the system hates us that much, we need to be dealing with and coming up with strategies to counter that system in and of itself.
Yeah, we by ourselves, we need to do that. All right. Why do we need somebody to help us do that? So, we're good, man. The best y'all can do is just wear a shirt that says we support FBA. That's it. That's it. You don't got to be vocal. You don't got to be seen, on social media talking about us. Just wear a shirt. We support FBA. That's it. That's the best you can do. Maybe I should sell a shirt like that, or Moon Duck. Somebody put a shirt for supporters. Hey, we support FBA. And we can do the rest. We can speak for ourselves better than anybody, okay?
And yeah, I agree with you hard. Like, I'm not here to say, oh, Kamala, yeah. Like, no, Kamala is clearly not concerned with the interest.
Anyway, got some good news. So I've been in Jersey 3 months now from Georgia. I was in Georgia. Some of you guys already know. So the good news is that my son would be able to start school. I was trying to get him in school, right? So he's going to start school this Monday coming up. That's a great thing. He's now going to be with some students and everything like that. And so we're going to miss, you guys are going to miss him. We're going to miss him, where he won't be involved in our early morning, early afternoon live session anymore. So you won't hear him in the background unless it's a holiday. Right, so that's good news. And so, I think I'll be like a little nervous. Yep. So welcome on board the school system. Gonna be a lot of. I think he's gonna learn Spanish in that school too, because a lot of them in it. A lot of them in it. It is. Know what I'm talking about? Yep. So any body want to be charitable, want to yes, I don't know, school supplies, clothes, whatever. The cash app thing is there, and he's a boy. He's a boy, 3 years old. And if anybody got any, decent, because he's grown. Anybody got some good clothes? I'm not too proud. You dig? I'm not too proud to accept the FBA lineage. If you got some clothes for, I think he's 3T pants, shirts is 2T, could be 3T. But yeah, anybody that used to have got a little one who's 4, 5, 6 years old now. He's 3 going on 4 tomorrow. I do accept clothes. You dig? Because he outgrew his other stuff. We got proper T here in the building. Proper T, you can welcome, you can unmute. Wait for proper T to unmute. Let me play the video until you unmute. You know when you're ready.
Of Black Americans, clearly. A Pan-African utopia will never happen as long as many Africans that have colonized mentally is a Pan-African pipe dream. Question: how many Black Americans have been colonized?
Colonize 0. Okay, go on. Oh,
Am
you
I
there, proper
showing?
T? Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Can you see me too?
No, your camera
Okay, good.
is not on.
Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna show myself just so you know I'm, real. But I was not prepared for this. Hold
Well,
on.
your voice sounds real.
Well, thank you. It is. Let me see here. Okay, is it? Can you see me?
Okay, proper T. Yes, you do.
Hi, everybody.
Say hello, everybody, to proper T.
What's up? I'm real. So I'm coming as I am, but I'm about to
Yeah.
take the
So,
video.
okay.
Okay. Now, what did you want me to say? I mean, what were you asking?
Okay. Well, whatever you want to say.
Oh, I got a lot to say.
Okay,
So,
let's go.
I don't want to talk too much, but I'm sorry, was that me? Who was that?
No, that was my little son.
Oh,
That
okay.
wasn't yours. That was mine. That was my muffin.
Okay, I was like, oh my goodness. That's what's up. Hi, son.
Say hello. Here. Say hello.
Hi. How are you today?
And it's close to his neck, so he's a little grumpy.
Yes. But yes, I have a lot to say about where we're at as a people,
Okay.
as well as who our enemies are. So, for starters, we are truly a blessed people, beautiful people, full of righteousness. God bless you. And again, and so we have been taught to not look at ourselves that way. We've been taught to look at ourselves in a way where we're poor and needy, despite the individual's growth in our people. Because so many of our people have mansions. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so, who our enemy is, what I have grown to realize is that it's all Europeans.
Wait,
Are you still there?
again? Say that again.
It's all Europeans that's our enemy
So
because of
nobody.
who they are.
So so you look at enemy is color based, not action based.
Oh, it's for sure color based.
So it's
Yeah.
not action based. So it's somebody do you demonic, devilish meant to you. That's not your enemy because they're not the color.
Okay, can you repeat that?
Okay, so because I asked you, was it action based? Because like for example, if if somebody kidnaps my kid, right, and they look like
Right.
me, they're dark, that's my enemy, right? And if somebody saves my kid from the kidnapper and they end up being lighter than me or white or Hispanic, that to me that's the hero. Are you saying the kidnapper that who's dark is not the enemy because they're dark? So the action doesn't make them the enemy. Like the color, regardless of the action, they're still, an ally of us.
True, because okay, I'm gonna say this too though, but we're acting devils. We're acting devils. We're
That's good
not
enough for
born
me.
devils. They're born devils because they continue to do devilish things that recruit, they always recruiting our people to get involved so that they can blame us for doing it. You know, the blame is always going to be put on us Negroes.
Okay.
So they have taught us to even do it to ourselves. That's why we go around and you hear a lot of people say it's always black on black crime, black on black crime, black on black
Right, right.
crime. So we've been taught that through the media, through music and everything. And see,
Yeah, it's
we have been
racist.
taught to uplift the government, uplift the police, to uplift the same people who have colonized us and still keep us in bondage.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I'm rolling with you. So, okay, so when you say that we've been taught that way, is that limited to just FBA blacks, or are you saying also like Africans? They've been taught that way as well. So like they're one with us.
Exactly. We've been brainwashed across the earth. Wherever there's an
Wait, okay,
African,
wait.
okay.
Okay, so we deal with the transatlantic slave trade. Who brainwashed those Africans to sell us to white people, the Europeans?
Europeans.
No. The Europeans are not. Okay, so the Europeans got strong armies in the 16, 1700s. Matter of fact, it wasn't until they got us. Once they enslaved us, we built these countries. We built their wealth, and after that, they was able to build ships and tanks and guns and all type of stuff. But during the 1400s, 1500s, they were not stronger than Africa.
No, I didn't say that, but they are manipulative people, so they manipulated
No, no,
us.
no. What I'm saying is the Africans were already trading us and selling us before Europeans even said, "Hey, let us get down." Like, so this was a system already happening.
I have never ever found any research on that.
Oh yeah.
All I
Okay.
know
So
is
look, the homie. Okay. So look, let me help you. You ever heard of Quinn and Zinga?
okay. Can I say this before we go any
Yeah.
further? Even if that's the case, they are the people that's still doing what they're doing because we're still the people at the bottom. So that could be the case, but why would we debate that?
Debate
Of our
what?
people being the first ones who sold each other or whatever, sold each other out. Why would we debate that when we're living in 2025 and we're still being
Hey, sit down.
unalive and, and still land is being stolen? So why would we continue to debate things that we should not? That just pretty much gives them another generation of us talking what we talk. And while they continue with their actions of evil, building their one world order, because it's deep to know what they're doing to us. It's deep. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, but what I would say is that Africans they have bad judgment when it comes to their resources, and they usually sell the most valuable thing. So, for example, the most valuable thing in the 14, 15, 1600s were us, and they sold us, and other people found more value in us, and we built up their countries and their world, and now they're selling their most valuable, precious resources and minerals, to the same people they sold us to. So they have a history of selling their most valuable possessions, most valuable thing, resources, and folk. Like they have a history of that. So now what I think is this. I think they look back at it like, damn, we made a mistake. So how can we get them back over here so they can build up our place like they did over there? And I think this is why the kumbaya stuff.
That doesn't make sense to me, because what makes sense is like in the movies, the money trail, follow the money trail. In 2025, who profited off of the sale of our people, and who can still show it? All
They
the
both did. They
money.
both did.
No, I beg to differ. Our
But
people as a
that's
whole
history though.
are not profiting. Their people as a whole are profiting.
No, no. Okay, so you're conflating the two at this point. Because now when you say my people, I don't even know who you're talking about, because when you say my people, my
African,
brain.
you got you are you what do you claim to be?
Okay,
African, black, what?
all right.
Black?
So hold on. Let me answer the question. So there's 54 countries in Africa, and there's 1,000 tribes, right? And there's a lot of different islands in the Caribbean, and everybody
Okay, you're
call
not
themselves.
answering the question though.
Yeah. You're not receiving the answer. I'm saying that nobody calls themselves one thing where it's all inclusive. Everybody calls themselves something differently that's very exclusive. So you have the Fulanis who live right by the Yorubas, and they say, I'm not Yoruba, I'm Fulani. So you can't come behind and say, no, you're both African. They're going to say, no, I'm Fulani, that person's Yoruba, and this person is Santi. So I'm foundational Black American.
Okay. So the great divide keeps us divided. So if you're just fighting for FBA, and Israelites are just fighting for Israelites, Christians are just fighting for Christians, all these things are man-made to keep us divided.
So
So
what
when
do you
we
think
look
we
in
should
that
do?
mirror, we don't see FBA. We see the color of our skin. So we must use clarity, and when we're looking at in the mirror, so the reflection can show who you truly are, and then you can line up with who you truly are, and then make decisions after that. Because see, when I look in the mirror, I see myself and I see God. I see a righteous person. You
Okay.
feel me? I see beautiful. I see kind. I see giving. This is, you know what I mean? But I see
Yeah.
my color first.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
When we look in the mirror, we see a lineage that's different
Yeah. So
and
it must be an
distinctive.
order. It must be an
Right.
order to get the
Right.
thing right. Because
Yeah,
the
but I'm
white people
saying,
got theirs right. You see what I
right.
mean? They got
No,
theirs
but
right. They stick together.
no,
They
but
have
everybody
many
got it
areas
right but
in
us.
Europe,
No,
but
no,
they
but when
all are colonizers.
right, listen, and okay, you have see again, that's why I brought you back to the top. There was nobody white influencing Africans to start their slave trade. It had nothing to do with Europeans. So let me bring you back. So you got the Ottoman Empire. And matter of fact, a lot of them enslaved Europeans. So you can't even say Europeans were influential because they were being enslaved by the Ottoman Empire. You got the Moors and you have the Arabs. Okay, and that was called the Sub-Saharan trade, something like that. So the white man got into that late. You're like, hey, what you guys doing over there? I want to get down. And when they got down with the transatlantic slave trade, and they offer a bag, and Africans were already practicing it. They said, all right, sure. And they sold us to them, right? And that was that. So and as a result of selling us, it came back to bite them because the people who bought us had plans for us. They used us to build their wealth, build their armies to become strong, powerful European nations. invincible, superpower. And then when they became that, they had a conference in Berlin. It's called the Berlin Conference. Berlin, Germany, the Berlin Conference in 1892. And they, with their power and might, based off free, cheap slave labor coming from the diaspora, they said, "Hey, we're going to go back to Africa. This time, we ain't going with a bag. We're going with guns, and we're going to carve up Africa." So the people they sold were used to build up these European nations to be superpowers, and they came back and carved up Africa. But none of that could have happened had we never been cheap free labor for these European nations. There would never be a European superpower. So one bad action, caused the whole ripple effect, caused the whole domino effect, the whole chemical reaction. They needed free and cheap labor to build up their utopia, to their world. They tried by themselves to come over here with the English, with the English, the Spanish, and they ate each other. They literally ate each other, like cannibalism. They died, they starved, they failed miserably. And that's around like the 1400s. They say, we can't do it. Let's go offer a bag to those Africans who's already doing it. And that's how they got us over here to build up what they couldn't do for themselves. And ever since then, it became Africa's nightmare. So when you say, "Hey, we're going through this systemic oppression, racism," we're blaming the Africans. Like, well, shit, we would have never been going through this had he not sold us to create this big bad, monster.
And that's
what
the
we're
whole
saying.
idea. That's the whole idea of colonizers, is for us to blame our own people. So the whole idea, the whole
We don't look at
trick
them
of
as
the
our people
devil is for us to
because you
believe a
don't sell your own
lie.
people.
Okay, get over it. We're still here living. We're still here. We're still having
Just get
babies.
over it.
You have to, because if you don't, you'll stay stuck right there.
No, but we're
blaming
living in it.
our own
No,
people. We'll
we're
stay
not
stuck there blaming
blaming.
our own. See, I'm
Well,
not, we can agree to disagree. Okay. And you respectfully told me what's coming from your heart, what you know. And I'm telling you what I know.
yeah.
I'm telling you, these people ain't no good. They ain't gonna never be no good for us or to us. They the great pretenders. And it's time that we wake up and smell the coffee. Because diversity will never work. Because they're liars. They're gonna always pretend to like us or want to do something for us, but never do. And then all these other people can come into America and do whatever they want to do with our monies that we never get unless you individually sell out. So we have to stop playing these foolish games with these fools. This trumpery stuff must go. And that's worthlessness. You know what I mean? So we are a people that love for real, for real. We really got feelings because these people truly kill us and steal from us and destroy us. I didn't mean to say that. I should have said on the live, because I'm not trying to get nobody's money taken, because I could care less about that money. I'm on gold. My mind on gold and land for our people. So the way we're going about it is they keep us stagnant by telling their stories, of old, instead of living for today and getting this land for the children to play. Because that's what's going on. Their morals are not right. Their judgments are not right. They built this worldly system, this one world order, and they're still building it. So we got to face the facts and the truth of what they're doing and
Yeah,
combat
we don't have
them
a
in a
problem with
way
accepting
without
that.
violence. And
Yeah, no,
combat them in a way without violence, unless we got to knock them out like the Alabama brawl or something,
yeah, no, I agree with you, and most of the chat will agree with that. Here's the problem: they're not by themselves. Like, they have mercenaries that they have hired to do their bidding because they know that they can't outright be devils, right? Because the world will look at them as immoral. So what they do is, instead of getting on the microphone and saying horrible things about us, they will get a blackface to go do that. And they try that with us within our lineage, at like the 80s and 90s with coons, but that got played out because we called them out and we said no, 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 no. So that got played out, and they would never coon too much, right? They'll coon, but they won't go to the full length. So what they did was they started to get foreigner Africans, foreigner Caribbeans who have no legacy with us, who have no shame and have no problem going too far, right? Because even our coons won't go too far. So they went and got people who look just like us from other countries that had no limits, Master P, and they would go far as needed, so far to say what you're saying is true. But these African faces, these Caribbean faces will go as far to say, hey, there's no foul, there's no harm done. They'll say, get over it. You know, we're in a color blindness world right now. Whatever happened to you past, that's over and done. And we're living in color blindness now. So focus, pull your bootstraps up and stop complaining.
We must. We must. And we must learn to start loving on each other properly, righteously. You feel me? Because it's a real fight out here. And they want us to retaliate with their weapons, and we're not. But see, we have God on our side, which a lot of people have strayed away from. You know what I mean? So when we realize there's only one true and living God who's on our side, these folks know that they can't fight God like that, because
But
he
doesn't
moves
God
us.
also
Hold on, hold on,
delineate?
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Yeah,
He moves
God
us by
delineates,
faith. He moves us by faith to
right?
do what we need to do. Okay, that means we must hear him. And so when we hear
Now
him,
we're
it'll
listening.
be
He told us to
somewhat like the
delineate.
Alabama brawl. You feel me? In a sense where nobody called nobody to make these moves. We just bust them. And just like we're going to bust on their heads with our righteous living, because they won't be able to stand the truth of righteous living. They are evil livers. Okay? So once we realize to beat them over the head, speaking of racism, they will melt away like that Wicked Witch did in the Wiz.
Yeah.
Real
Okay.
talk.
So, are you familiar? Let's go a little biblical. Are you familiar with the book of Isaiah,
I go
chapter
get my
7?
Bible. You want me to go get my Bible?
Yeah, go do that.
All right, I go get my Bible.
Yeah, yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on,
Since you
okay?
want to go biblical, so I'm approve delineation
Okay,
in the book of Isaiah.
okay.
All right. All right.
Hold
Let's
on.
do this, family. Family, one time, one time. Hey, can I get biblical one time for the family? Just one time. All right. I'm gonna show my versatility. All right. Just one time. I'm gonna do this. Show my versatility just one time. All right. The sister, she ain't gonna get down with the history. So all right, so let me go to here. Let me prove my point from the Bible, since that's where she wants to, to position herself. And then we're gonna peel off, right? So I'm gonna prove delineation from the Bible, from the Most High perspective, and then let sister respond, and then we're gonna call the day. Because I like to try to leave by 4 o'clock to bring my son to the park, have fun. I hate to have him cooped up with me, but tomorrow is
Okay,
his
I'm
last
ready.
day with me. Okay, cool. So are you familiar with the war between Northern Israel and Southern Israel, right?
Yeah, Northern and Southern Israel?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay,
yeah.
hold on.
Because
First, what book?
so we're Isaiah chapter 7.
Isaiah chapter 7.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you said Northern Israel. You're talking about over in the Middle East?
Say that again? No, no. I'm talking about Bible. I'm talking
You talking
Israelites,
about,
the Hebrew Israelites of the Bible.
oh, Israelites. Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Hold on.
So Israelites weren't they God chosen people?
See, I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell your story,
Okay.
Trey.
I mean
Yeah.
that's either true or false. You read the Bible. Yeah. So the Israelites were God chosen people, but even they war with
That's
themselves.
what I'll agree with what's written on here, but it's
Okay.
not my truth, my research.
Okay. Then there's no need to go. Okay. Then that's no need. Then
No, but I
okay.
want to go where you're going. I'm not gonna stop you from going where you're going to
Well,
prove what you're
if you
saying.
don't if you don't understand that
I didn't say
basic
I didn't
understanding.
understand.
Okay,
No,
so do you agree? Do you
you missed it.
agree that God had 12, the Most High had 12 chosen tribes?
Okay, it's written. Okay.
Okay. So now in the book of Kings, right? In the book of Samuel, right? Israel divided against each other. You had the northern, a matter of fact, it was after King Solomon fall. Either during or after his fall, the Israelites divided themselves and they went to war against themselves. And you can find this in the book of Kings, first and second. All right. So now they grouped up. They grouped up. You had the southern Israel, which was Judah, Benjamin, and help me out, family. Judah, Benjamin, and one more versus the other tribes, and they were called Northern Israel. So the bottom line is in Isaiah chapter 7, Northern Israel had linked up with the ops, the white man, versus their own brother. So now God didn't say, "Oh, word, let me go get the white man only." No, he said, "We're going to destroy both of them together." And that's what Isaiah chapter 7:1 was about, and about King Ahaz. So it was about go get us. He told King Ahaz to go get a sign, or ask for a sign that God is going to be with Southern Israel versus their brother Northern Israel and their enemy. The enemy, the white man. So he said, I'm gonna help you destroy both of them. So what I'm saying to you, just because you classify somebody as your brother or sister and they look like you, once they link up with the op, they're both ops. So it's not color based, it's action based. They both were considered ops. And God said, ask for a sign. And the sign was the virgin birth, right? Or what some people say was that the virgin birth, whether you agreed or not, but that was the sign. It's Isaiah 7:14, 14 verse. And that was a sign that he would deliver them from the hand of their own brethren and the enemy. So their own brethren linked up with the enemy to destroy Southern Israel. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, was you done?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can agree with, there are going to be some of our people that are going to fall with them
Right. And put
today.
that down. Nobody said grab that. Put that down.
But again, to constantly speak
Leave it.
on the traitors, your conversation
Leave it.
should be more uplifting us righteous. You know what I mean? So to constantly blame them and not blame the whites along with them, you're only, making it sound like black on
So you
black
didn't see
crime.
so you didn't see my videos against Fuentes, Kirk, and Jared Taylor, Spencer. You didn't see my videos against those people and white supremacy, period. You didn't see my videos against them. I got a
No,
whole bunch of
I'm
videos.
just
Okay,
this
yeah,
today. It's a whole new day.
yeah,
We
right. It's a
speaking on
whole
what we
different,
know.
right.
Excuse
So,
me.
right. So, yeah, right, yeah. So
So
it's my
so
platform, right? No,
let's stay
hold on.
relevant. Let's stay
Right.
relevant
But
though.
hold on. I got you. Right. But I have a voice like you do, and I have the
Yeah,
right
but
to
I'm not
speak
telling
about.
you
Well,
to go
hold
check
on.
out my Miss
Right.
Proper teaching,
No,
because
but
that
all I'm
army
saying
one is
is,
powerful.
I got you. All I'm saying
You
is,
know
I have
what
a
I
voice
mean?
like
But
you.
at the same
Right.
time, let's talk about relevancy of today. Like when
No,
you telling
but
me about our
that's
own
for you to do
people
though. No, but that's
being
for you to do. You got
being
to go like,
traitors,
yeah, but whatever you listen, what's on your heart, you got to go speak about it. Like I can't tell you to speak about what I know. You got to speak about what you know.
but I'm doing that, and I know how
Right.
these
And I'm doing what I
I know
do.
how the government operates, and I know how
Okay.
our traders operate. So when you operating every day, we must operate in faith, so that you don't bust no move that's not of God. You're gonna bust a move to just get rid of this evil over here, then get rid of this evil over there, and then that shit gonna start to all crumble down, fall like dominoes, like it's doing. And we got to build up our faith to keep following our God to get this land and this gold back, like Abraham Traore doing, because
I got
he's
it.
hearing from God. He hearing from God, because what he's hearing is lining up with what God is telling me. So I know what's going on, and we all must know, so that we can all
Right.
be on the same. righteous path,
Right. And I'm
not
saying God
evil
is
path.
right. But I'm saying God is it's okay. Look, God is sending you a message. He is sending me a message. And I'm doing the message that God sent me, and you're condemning me for
No, I didn't
obeying
condemn you,
God's
brother.
words.
I didn't
Yeah, well,
condemn you.
no, I'm saying the message I deliver every early afternoon or late afternoon, I don't know, early afternoon or late morning, and every night, that's God telling me to talk about those things.
And that's what's up. So we on the same page, player. I love it. And so therefore we got to help our people, and we all gonna know different things. That's why we got to speak it. And they keep trying to block us from connecting so that we won't bridge, these gaps we got. You know what I mean? Because it's the young and the old, and we got to respect both. But we got to know the order. So, you know what I mean? God said he gonna get the fathers, and they sons back together
Right.
and,
And he's
and,
doing
and
that right now
unite.
with the delineation. And we're doing that
Exactly.
today with delineation. And that's
Exactly.
why we're
So yeah,
self-identifying. We're coming under one name or
yes,
at least one lineage. And we're gathering exactly what you just said. We're doing that.
exactly. And so it's no need to rush this at all. This race is not given to the swift, but to those that endure this life that has been given to them. So to given to us. So we gotta, just know that we gotta focus in on our own. We must trust God only. Don't even trust yourself. I'm for real, for real. Because don't let your little lustful whatever in your head come your way and you like, ooh, I gotta have it. There you go. You
Yeah,
done
yeah, I
fail.
agree with that. But I definitely trust my lineage, though.
Yeah, huh?
I said I definitely trust my lineage, though.
Yes, yes, that's what's up. But we gotta straighten up our morals. Know that them 10 commandments still stand. So we won't be out there committing adultery and doing all these things that the white man don't hit us over the head for. But God said, hey, live right.
Wait. I know you ain't twerk shaming. Are you twerk shaming?
No, because I would twerk too. But
So I'm about
shit.
to
So I
say,
would never twerk shame. No,
okay,
I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, in the hoods, okay?
all
So no,
right.
and I'm in the ATL now.
A
So yeah,
town.
I'm giving hell to these devils out here. I'm burning up witches, okay? Setting wizards on fire, okay? In the spirit realm, in the
Right,
spirit realm, where it
right.
counts, because it's going to show up in the physical. So they took us away from the spirit realm in the 60s, okay? And transformed it into spirit, spiritual, and all other kind of ghost. So when we learn what we speaking and these words are clear to us and the meaning is true, then we'll follow the path of righteousness instead of following fools.
Right. I agree with that. Wholeheartedly.
So one love to you. I'm not knocking you because, thank you for inviting me.
Oh yeah,
You know
definitely.
what I mean? A lot of people can't handle this type of talk. They don't have the heart. And you got to
Right.
be strong on the inside to endure. But a lot of our people go to block us, knock us, because we not on that same path they on. I
Right.
respect FBA. I respect Israelites. But I'm going to call out what I see. You know what I mean? I got to. If I don't, it won't be of righteousness and truth as y'all sister. And I don't have no religions, no science. One true living
Yeah.
God
Because
who loves us.
I was gonna ask you, do you observe the Sabbath?
Yeah, but see, I don't properly know how because we've been taught different things. So it's something that hasn't I haven't gotten that yet, but I do know it's something either every 7 years. Okay, then
So
the
do you
young
call him
young
Yahweh
king.
Shai, Yahweh? Do you call him
Okay, I'm telling you, I went from Jesus, Haile Selassie, and it's growing up though. You know what I mean?
El Celestia?
Um,
What?
no, I'm just telling you
Tether?
where I went. I was
Okay.
almost Muhammad, but I didn't cross that line. But I went back to Jesus, and now I solely went out with Jehovah, solely one on one,
Oh,
without no because it was a lot of chaos that came into my life, and I wasn't getting no answers, and it was like hurting. So I had built this relationship with Jehovah. Okay. And then, so I kept calling him Jehovah, no middleman, nobody. And so he started showing me it really is a one-on-one. It really is. Because
Right.
once you start speaking and he speak back and he show you exactly what you then spoke about, and you like, wait, what the fuck? Oh, excuse
No
me, I didn't
cursing.
mean to say it like that. I didn't mean
See,
to say
that's the
that.
devil. That's
That's
the
the baby.
devil.
But no. Cuss words are words to be spoken, and it's how they're spoken. Because some people are offended by a lot of things that we should not be offended by. Those are words to be spoken. You feel me? So words are words to be spoken. It's how we speak them, even in a courtroom, even in the schoolhouse, even in a, you know what I mean? Even at home. So all words are meant to be spoken. It's how we speak them, how we use them, and how we know the meaning of the word. And let me ask you one. What do you
Yes,
think welcome
ma'am.
means?
Welcome means to welcome somebody with by your permission. Welcome somebody in your space or your world by your own permission.
And I mean, they have welcome everywhere, right? All in the doorways, in the front of our homes, businesses, everything, right? Am I right about that?
I'm not sure like their agenda. I can't
Have
think.
you not ever paid? No, I'm speaking about regular homes, regular apartments, regular places that you
No,
establishments,
but
restaurants.
it
You go
comes
in
with
and then
permission.
welcome.
No,
Hold on.
all
Welcome is
right.
at the door.
Not
Am I right?
always. No, yeah, no,
No,
not always.
I didn't say that always. Why you gonna make this my story longer?
Can you ask me a question? I'm like, well, it depends. There's context to that.
At
That
some of these places, at some homes,
somebody got a
welcome is
welcome mat, just because somebody got a welcome mat outside their door, don't mean you're welcome into that house or that property.
yeah, but that's your meaning of it, right?
No, that's their meaning. Like you knock on that door and try walking in, see what
No,
happens.
hold on. I got a meaning that's their meaning as well. So if you ready to hear it, I heard yours. You ready to hear it, you gotta
Yeah, okay.
know.
Yes,
You gotta
property.
either know it's the
Well,
truth or it's not.
all right, so it's the
Okay?
last thing property, then we're out. Because I gotta take them to the park.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. I enjoyed it. And you and your son and family have a wonderful day at the park. Welcome means Baphomet. That goat everybody wants to talk about. So I'll leave you on that note. Have a blessed day and love y'all. Stay
I love
encouraged,
you
stay
too, and thank you for
strong,
calling up and
increase
giving us
y'all
good
faith.
energy.
Yeah, and love on each other righteously. Have a blessed one. Peace.
Thank you, Miss Property. Have a great one. Blessings to you.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you for calling
Excuse
in.
me.
Yes.
What would you like for me to call you?
Unbiased Ron.
Ron?
Oh, you can call me Ron. That's all. Ron is good.
What did you say at first?
The whole name. That's the unbiased Ron. That's the YouTube name.
Got
But you can
it.
call me Ron or
Unbiased
unbiased.
Ron. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yes, sir. Yes. All righty. Have a blessed one now. Peace.
All right. Thank you. Peace. Yeah. So, courage to her to call in. And I was kind of, I think she did some straightening on me because I was kind of confused at first, but I think she straightened me out, something proper. And I understand her now. I'm one with her. I think she is too forgiving of tethers than I could ever be, but she's definitely blessed. She's definitely blessed. All right, family. So I'm out of here. 4 o'clock is when I try to bring my son to the park. I'll be too selfish. Plus, he only got one more day with me during the week, and that's tomorrow. After that, he'll be in school. Start Monday. Damn, I gotta go to the stores and grab my damn. I gotta cut his hair. All right, family. Make sure you like the video. Thanks for the chats. The Cash App is there, and if anybody Cash App, a large portion of that will go to his schooling supplies and clothes and things like that. Family, It's a pin to the top. I'm out of here. I thank the sister for calling in. It takes bravery to call in because Tethers talk about us all day long, but would never talk to us. They don't call in like that. All right, family. I'll see you guys late tonight, 11:30, 12, where it be lit. Peace. Appreciate all y'all. Love Delaney.